think it's working now, Jake. We're live. I think we got it. I don't know. The gremlins. Jake, the gremlins.
All right. Well, apparently we just had too much truth to say. And we got shut down. But we are back. We'll wait for the chat to fill up a little bit.
You can keep on talking. It'll pick up. We'll wait for the
All right. Well, good idea, Mari. So, as I was saying, we are seeing quite a few things that are coming to fruition that was told to me back in February. And so far, we're heading right down the path that I was told we were heading. And with a La Nina forming later, looks like that we will be seeing even cooler temperatures. So I remember back in 2017, temperatures dropping down to about 0.21 for the month of June in the UAH. So it's not that far-fetched for us to be cooling during summer months. That's happened before. So we'll keep an eye on this, as always. This is just May. Summer will be here. Warmer weather will be here. But it's just, you know, as I was speaking as well before we got intercepted, how much of this is from volcanic activity? I mean, this is not yet year without summer qualifications, but it's May. And I'll show you guys the outlook here just a little bit. Records tumble as cold blast sweeps across Australia. Reported this on this Wednesday. Now, currently, this cold front is sweeping across Australia, following its fifth warmest April on record. Parts of Victoria are set to experience their coldest start to May. New South Wales is being hit with blizzard conditions and below freezing temperatures. Sydney had seen its coldest May 1st in a decade. Parts of southern Queensland and Brisbane shiver through near frigid temperatures, and Perth is set to be drenched by rains following the state's record-breaking April heat. I want to give a shout out to Starman as well, because I also saw him on Twitter really emphasizing the cold that was happening in Australia, and boy, was he not messing around. And, yep, I see him right now. Hello, Mr. Starman. David Birch. Good to see you out here, buddy. But a cold front originating from Antarctica is sweeping across Australia, with states in the southeast to set their coldest starts to May. The wintry conditions came after the country recorded its fifth warmest April on record. Quotes here, "At the moment, we have a very cold outbreak across the southeast from well south of the country from the Antarctic," said Dean. I love you guys over here at Watchers.news, but is it me, or do you find yourself repeating the same three sentences and three paragraphs? But I get it. We love you guys. You guys are awesome, though. So I guess I can't talk since half the time I mispronounce most of the cities.
Yeah, shut up,
so, but anyway, just funny. All right, so more cold, more snow. Record warmest April met with extreme cold, extreme snowfall. I mean, look at this. Melbourne, by the way, 50 centimeters of snow. It's really early for this kind of snowfall. Yes, we are heading into the winter months of the year down there, but at the same time, this is still pretty early. So, autumn cold snap has blasted Melbourne, bringing rain and hail and even snow on the first day of May. So, I'd say the headlines for May 1st is record cold, record snow, record hail, temperature drop, May outlook. Yes, it's going to be burning up hot in the southwest. I get it. But there's a lot of cold weather being reported today. Severe hailstorms wreak havoc across Indiana, destroy homes and crops. And that was India, not Indiana. Lord. Bouts of hailstorms since the past weeks have wreaked havoc in various parts of India. In Mizoram, hail lashed about 795 houses, as confirmed by Disaster Management and Rehabilitation Minister on April 29th, 2020. In Haryana, more than 618,000 acres of rabi crops were ravaged by heavy showers and hail over the past weekend. In West Bengal, up to $8 million worth of mango was ravaged in Malda due to a hailstorm last week. We've mentioned Malda before for crop loss. The one thing that I have stopped researching in my years of doing this channel is the amount of suicide that occurs in India from farmers. And we continue to see stories like this month in, month out, sometimes weeks back to back. And there were a lot back in 2017, 2018, and slowly but surely in 2019, I stopped looking it up because it was getting depressing. People in their early 40s with 5 children and a wife. Maybe their parents were living with them. Everything's on their back, and then a crazy freak 1 in a 500-year storm comes through and destroys crops and creates damage that's just unimaginable. So I stopped researching it for that reason, and it's because stuff like this, when you hear about that $8 million worth of mango, $8 million, guys, crops. So that's a lot of money. I don't care where you live. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of damage. That's somebody's livelihood right there. It's done. They can't pay their bills. They're not going to be able to pay their workers. So to me, stuff like this is way more devastating to talk about, let alone reporting on the amount of farmer suicides in India. And it has a lot to do with stories like this, when you see the kind of damage that this hailstorm has obviously created as well. All right, let's check out another article here. Record cold in Alaska's northmost town. While most of the state is blossoming in the spring, areas north of Brooks Range have still been dealing with cold and blizzard conditions. Early Wednesday morning, this city I will not attempt to pronounce saw the thermometer fall to minus 20, beating the previous record of negative 19 set back in 1973. It's the first time in recorded history that this town saw a minimum low of minus 20 this late in the season, guys. All right, so this late in the season, negative 20. And we were just talking about the cold stealing the headlines today. That's it. I mean, that is pretty much what is dominating the climate weather news today. Cold. Cold, 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 snow, cold, cold, snow, snow, cold, snow, cold, hail. And again, it's only May 1st, so it's not that weird or unusual to have a late winter, early spring. We're getting messed with again. By the way, I apologize if I'm skipping in and out. I just noticed the internet signal here just went to 0 and came back. I tell you, they don't like me saying cold, 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 snow, snow, cold, hail, cold, snow. And apparently. We're limited. Mari said that she checked the status of this, and we've been flagged as a yellow dollar sign. Now, I just, this is the type of thing, guys, too, and it's frustrating because it's nice to be able to pull in ad revenue to help pay for the internet bill and some of the equipment that we spend money on to help make this better. Microphones, headsets, whatever. You know, we put time and money into this. Websites we've built, we pay hosting services for that. And I feel like that if you tell the truth too hard, that you get punished, and they take it away. They make YouTube makes it. Let's just say you can't challenge the consensus. If you want to make money in any industry, it doesn't matter if it's YouTube or sales or anything, you have to conform. You can't go against the grain. And that's why we always kind of preach here at Grand Solar Minimum. We appreciate the donations, the super chats, folks that have joined our YouTube membership. Edward Thompson, sir, I've seen that you have joined recently as well. If you're wondering why some of these names are lit up in green, they are paid members. They get access to things like our call-in show, which this Friday, tonight, we will not be having, unfortunately. But we will have a live broadcast tonight on our sister station, WTF Sky. But guys, the point I'm trying to make is that YouTube sometimes, in my opinion, and this is being obvious right now, they don't want you talking about the truth. They limit you. They try to bully you. They try to push you out. They try to discourage you from even uploading, because when you look at your channel revenue, where it used to be set to where it was taking care of business, now it's like it's costing us money to maintain the quality that we have. So that's why you've seen us back down from 5 days a week to 3 days a week. Not by choice. It's just not making sense. And it's frustrating when you're trying to present the truth. Basically, we are showing you that cold is freezing the headlines today. And twice, while talking about cold and temperatures dropping, that we're not warming. I brought up the point about CO2 rising and temperatures dropping. I'm sure we'll be intercepted here soon. I'll be shocked if we get to finish this broadcast. But as I'm sitting here broadcasting you right now, I'm looking at the internet meter, the signal meter for this, and it dropped to 0 a couple times. So something fishy, I don't know. But again, folks, that's why we always thank our followers and supporters. You guys are the reason why we do what we do, to keep putting out the truth, to keep people informed. And that will always continue, especially with your support. So thanks again, everybody. All right, let's go do a weather report, shall we, for the UK. Just go ahead and play the tropical tidbits. Let's actually take this to the proper screen. Let's see if I can get this to appear here. Come on. It's beautiful, but let's go. Yeah, it's not wanting to do anything, guys. It's the joys of live. That's not what I wanted, but we're getting close, guys. So I haven't done the European weather reports in a while. I do apologize to my fans out there. I know we have tons of people that tune in for this. So, and you guys also help make this channel roll. I get a lot of great information from most of my friends over there across the pond. So again, fair is fair. I'll go ahead and play the radar outlook. This will start from May 1st and run all the way out through the middle of May, late May. But here we go for an outlook for the next 5 days here for the UK. This evening and tonight, dry for many, though a few showers in Wales, central and northern England, as well as some more persistent rain over the north of Scotland. Some clearing developing with a relatively chilly night ahead, perhaps the odd spot of frost as well. On Saturday, sunshine and showers for eastern parts through northern Scotland, cloudier with some more persistent rain up there. Much of the west and south staying dry by day, a little warmer than Friday. And the outlook for Sunday through Tuesday, still a few showers for the northern and eastern areas, cloudier at times in the far southwest with rain likely, heaviest on Tuesday. Many other areas dry and fine. So sounds like it's going to be pretty decent weather. And let's check out temperatures while we're here as well. We got to look at the precipitation. Now let's take a look at what kind of temperatures we can expect. And for the most part, most of Europe looking like spring out here. Highs in the 60s and 70s, lows in the 40s and 50s. For you folks in the UK, it's mild at best. We're talking maybe high 50s, low 60s. Some spots in the freezing temperatures in the northern spots of the UK. But for the most part, we are looking at typical seasonal temperatures, maybe a little cooler in other areas, but nothing drastic. Heating up in Africa, if I even have to mention that. And that is a look at temperatures all the way out through the 17th. I know these aren't really the most reliable for that far out. But like I said the other day, you do see these flashes from GFS that appear to show up at different parts of its forecasting ability. Make sure I've got the right map up here. I do. All right, so let's take a look at, that's next week. Let's just be on the safe side here. I don't know why it's screaming up. Today is not May 8th. Today is May 1st. So here we are, May 1st. Let's take a look here. Rain moving off the East Coast. Pretty dry right now for Saturday. Guys, get out and enjoy the weather. It's supposed to be really nice, temperature-wise. Clear skies for the most part. Maybe some rain in Nebraska, parts of northern Colorado, Wyoming as well. Also in the Northwest, Oregon, and Washington, looking at plenty of rain and snow in higher elevations as well. Light rain will approach the Northeast by May 3rd, Sunday, and showers across the Tennessee Valley as well into the mid-Atlantic states by Monday. May the 4th be with you. And then as we head through the week, some rain developing across the middle part of the country. Not a lot. And talking to my friend Matt, he is a farmer out in Nebraska, and conditions are drier than normal, than usual. The last couple of years have been pretty soggy. This year now, they're talking about they may have to water their own corn this year. Rain moving across parts of Missouri into Kentucky and Virginia once again by a Wednesday, May 5th, May 6th, and then finally a low pressure system moving into the Northeast. We actually get a little bit of a break after this system that just moved out. The Northwest, the Northeast could definitely use the break. We've been pretty soggy here the last few days. So by midweek next week, we expect a low pressure system to come across the Northeast. Look at that. The Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, colder temperatures also will arrive. Here we approach May 8th. That's a Friday. And again, flashes of snowflakes, wet snowflakes in the Adirondacks is possible, but this is going to be a mountain snow. This will not reach low levels on May 9th. A pretty normal system moving across the south. Colder air across the Northeast. Look at this, guys. May 9th, rain is mixing with snow in parts of southwestern Ohio. So watch out, Dayton, Ohio, Piqua, Greenville, areas out there, you possibly could see some wet snowflakes flying around on May 9th. Snow in western New York mixing with rain, and then snow upstate New York on Sunday. This is the early morning overnight hours. So this cold front dips all the way in the northern plains through the Great Lakes into the Northeast. And overnight temperatures, again, this is the 10th. This is 9 days out. And we talked about this on Wednesday, where GFS will show these flashes of events that go away later, but come back in a couple of days. So now the attention is shifted away from New York. With light snow as possible still for most of the state of New York. But Vermont and New Hampshire, wow. You're talking possibly outburst of 3 to 5 inches of snow in 3 hours, according to this GFS radar, possible. And this winds down all the way through Sunday. Temperatures warm up Monday. That rain changes over to snow. But guys, this cold front is deep for this time of year. And more snow chances moving across the Great Lakes into western New York by the 12th of May. So the 9th, 10th, and the 12th, we could see snowflakes in the Northeast, heavy snowflakes for Vermont and New Hampshire. Very, very troubling jet stream, guys. And this also goes back to the UAH. Speaking of the jet stream, it's also been pointed out to my attention that the polar vortex has lost its grip. And for those of you, most of you out there know what that means. When you have a tight polar vortex. A lot of that Arctic cold is locked up in the very top of the northern part of the hemisphere, the Arctic. And that's why we saw a lot of ice growth as well. We had all that cold air locked up. And part of the reason why we are seeing some crazy, weird patterns here right now, and I want to go into this as well because this is related. We are seeing warmer temperatures in the north as we progress through the month, cooler temperatures further south. So in one part of Canada, we're going to be 70s and 80s, and another part in the northeast, it could be in the 20s and 30s overnight. The Arctic warmed up as well. So we had a shift. Cooler air to southern parts. The U.S. dropped, the Arctic rose. This is all consistent with the polar vortex losing its grip, becoming weaker. And when the vortex is weaker, expect colder, sharper cold fronts. In other words, more frequent blast of cold air from the Arctic, much colder, because now this polar vortex is weakened and it's no longer able to contain that Arctic cold. Now, thankfully, we're heading into spring and summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. But let's think about this. If this remains, if the polar vortex remains weak going into a La Nina season, that's strike two. So enjoy what we can enjoy right now. I don't have a good feeling about this upcoming fall and winter. And this summer, I mean, it's very possible with all the volcanoes we've had go off and with the current situation that we're seeing with our temperatures. It's currently in the Northeast, they're flirting right now. They're flirting with it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. They're flirting with it. A year without a summer. As I don't see temperatures throughout May, we get some warm weather this next couple of days. And then as you move through mid-May, 50s and 40s, 30s and 20s for the lows. Late May, look at this. Look at how much cold air is spilling into the Northeast by May 11th, May 12th. Look at this. 27 degrees was an overnight low temperature on May 13th. Now, the rest of the country looks great, in my opinion. But we're not getting that true May heat just yet. 60s and 70s are nice, but if you live in Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, you need that 80-degree heat, and that is usual. In fact, let's go ahead and look at average temperatures in May. 80s for Oklahoma, Arkansas, most of the South. 70s for the rest of the areas that I mentioned. Those are averages. So you're going to get your few 80-degree days in May when you average temperatures in the 70s. Right now, it's not quite there. We're still, that 60s, I would say, is probably, right now, we're probably, where my arrow is, the 60-degree weather average temperatures. It's safe to say it's cut that much out so far. So Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, parts of Ohio, you're seeing much cooler temperatures right now for the month of May, and you're really seeing it up here in the New York area as well. They're saying temperatures are supposed to be in the 60s this month. We get 68 tomorrow and Sunday, and then back in the low 50s for next week. 7 degrees below. So again, what's dominating the headlines for May 1st, 2020? It's cold. Baby, it's cold outside. All right, Mario, would you like to come over here and say hello and goodbye and thanks for joining part 2? Mario, you did label those, right?
I labeled part 2, Jake. Everyone thinks you sound amazing with your little earpiece thingy.
That's not true. I haven't seen anybody mention it, so it's just
I apologize for the gremlins. I've been scrambling. I did post on some of the social media sites the 2 different links. Sorry for the confusion. Hopefully people will find us. It's been a little rough lately, technical glitch wise, but we're working on it. I got some new ideas. I'm thinking about getting some different hardware and stuff to streamline things and improve audio quality. Step 1, Jake's mic. We got it. Locked. Step 3, who knows? Maybe Mario will get a mic. I'm talking through Jake's mic. Hello,
Sounds pretty
hello,
good.
Hello. Okay. Well, I was just telling people we're going to have our WTF Sky shows this weekend. I think we're going to have one tonight at what, 9 or 8? 9?
It doesn't
9?
matter.
Let's do 9. Because I'm trying to find an optimal solution for calling in. I'm not quite happy with the system we have, and I'm looking for cost effectiveness and audio quality. Those are my 2 priorities. So I'm going to be testing some things tonight on WTF Sky. We'll probably chat about some world news, COVID, and conspiracy tinfoil hat stuff if you want, Jake.
I think it'll be mainly a COVID talk, really. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Maybe. And we're going to do your political show on
That's Monday. Middleman Politics with Jake Riley. WTF
and then
Sky.
Saturday we're going to be doing the weird news.
Weird news.
Something fun. Everyone's sick of hearing all the doom and gloom, and have something fun to discuss for once, right?
Yeah. Well, we were going to do it earlier in the week, and things just. I get what you're doing. We pre-launched the launch basically.
For what?
For the weird news. We weren't quite ready to launch it this week, but we are now. So
well, we're talking about it, and we got feedback from our community. They decided on the time. They wanted it at night, so I decided.
I agree.
Especially if we're going to, have some fun. We might also make that a call-in show. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm playing around with some ideas, so
awesome.
Time will tell, and it will evolve like a Pokemon or something like that, Jake.
We're trying to do the best with our free time, so we're going to make hopefully your experience on Grand Solar Minimum and WTF Sky a lot more enjoyable. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this afternoon. Sorry for all the weird, funky in and out internet stuff, which was very, very weird. We were going to do a call-in show tonight with Lee Wheelbarger. Unfortunately, we are having some issues with the software that we use for our call-in shows, so there will be no call-in tonight that was originally scheduled. However, we are going to have a hangout on WTF Sky and just do a general chat, probably talk about COVID and go over some of the recent numbers and also breaking news. There's tons of stuff to talk about. I know you guys know that. So if you want to join us on our sister channel tonight, 9 p.m., WTF Sky. If there's any news breaking throughout the weekend, Grand Solar Minimum will break through and report it. Until Monday, guys, we hope everyone has a safe weekend, and we will talk soon. Take care.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.